This is 3 News Daily.
Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Daily on this Wednesday, March 29th. I'm Stephanie Haney here with your top stories. And we start off with a shocking story here in Cleveland, where a woman has survived being shot in the head. Cleveland police tell us this happened on West 69th Street off of Dennison Avenue. Police say a 31-year-old woman was in bed when someone shot her through her window. Officials say she is in stable condition, thankfully. Now across town, Cleveland police are investigating a body found in the debris of the former women's shelter. That shelter caught on fire before demolition could begin last week, and officials have since determined that it was arson. Crews found a woman's body at a dump on Rockside Road. That's where the debris from the women's shelter was taken. Now officials are investigating how the woman died and if there's any connection to the arson. So far, no arrests have been made. Now in Eastlake, angry residents are demanding that Council President John Meyers either step down or be fired. That's because Meyers was caught in a human trafficking sting and has been charged with solicitation. Meyers still sits on the council and actively participated in last night's council meeting. We spoke with one resident who is also a human trafficking survivor who says someone who was caught trying to buy sex should not be in office.
I want him to get fired. What he did, he needs to get fired. Not sitting up here saying, yeah, it's his personal life, but being a council president, you above the rest, and you are leadership.
Now 3 News was at the council meeting last night. We tried to talk with Meyers, but he declined to comment on the situation. Now here we are 2 days after 6 people were shot and killed at a Nashville elementary school, and parents may again be wondering how to have that difficult discussion about gun violence and school safety with their kids. The American Psychiatric Association and the American Academy of Pediatrics say 8 years old is the right age to have this conversation. They recommend monitoring the news to be aware of what's on the TV when little ones are around, and they say when the time is right, it's important to be honest.
You might often have better results if you sit down with another family and you can sit down and share the thoughts of the other families with their kids. So you get a feeling that building a relationship, like we're going to go in and do it together. I think it's important that you sit down with the schools too, and you have that good relationship going about we are as prepared as we can be out there today.
Now, elementary kids will naturally ask more questions, so the goal is to answer truthfully, but at an age-appropriate level. That means the explanation needs to be kept simple. So, for example, that could be saying something like, a bad person or someone with a serious illness who was angry hurt people. Now, it has been nearly 2 months since the toxic East Palestine train derailment, and state officials say it may take at least 2 more months for the cleanup of contaminated water and soil to be complete. Speaking at a House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee hearing, state EPA officials said that the process of removing waste from the area is moving forward. While that's happening, officials say daily testing of the air and water quality in East Palestine continues to show no chemical contamination. Now, new this afternoon, the Food and Drug Administration has now approved selling Narcan over the counter. The OTC version is a nasal spray, and it can reverse opioid overdoses from drugs like heroin and deadly fentanyl. It's now the first opioid treatment to be sold at drugstores, and it's expected to be in stock this summer. In Akron, the police department is participating in tonight's Community Conversation series. The series lets residents talk one-on-one with Akron officials. And tonight's agenda includes the Akron Police Department's use of force investigations and how to file complaints with the department, how to safely assemble for protests, and what the purpose of a grand jury is and how that process works. The meeting is tonight at 6:30 at the New Hope Baptist Church. And First Lady Jill Biden is in Ohio today. Dr. Biden is visiting Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Greene County to meet with military families. This is part of her Joining Forces initiative ahead of April, which is the month of the military child. She is also hosting a listening session with military parents, and that'll be at an elementary school that supports military children. Now in consumer news, Frontier Airlines is adding 4 new nonstop flights out of Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Those flights include service to Dallas-Fort Worth, also Charlotte, that begins May 12th for both of those. You can also fly directly into San Diego starting June 8th and San Francisco on June 23rd. The airline says it will soon offer 17 nonstop destinations from Cleveland, and that is more than any other airline out of Cleveland Hopkins. Now, for exciting news for Broadway fans, if you're staying in Cleveland, Playhouse Square just dropped its lineup for the 2023-2024 KeyBank Broadway series. 7 new shows are coming to Cleveland. That includes the opening leg of Back to the Future the Musical in June 2024. Cleveland will be one of the first cities to get a pre-Broadway stop of The Wiz in October. And other shows include Girl from North Country, Mrs. Doubtfire, Funny Girl, Company, and MJ. We've got a link to show dates and where to buy tickets on WKYC.com. That sounds like a really solid lineup. All right, now for our question of the day. New research suggests walking 8,000 steps once or twice per week rather than 10,000 every day can be enough to significantly reduce the risk for death over 10 years. So we want to know, are you still tracking steps? Are people still doing that? And if not, how do you track your activity? Post your comment to the WKYC Facebook page and we'll talk about it during What's New at 4 o'clock. All right, now check this out. Nearly a year after casting calls began across Northeast Ohio for LeBron James' new movie, Peacock just dropped a teaser trailer showing us what to expect from the upcoming biopic. It's called Shooting Stars, and it's based off of LeBron's 2009 autobiography. We'll all get a front row seat into how LeBron and his friends became the #1 team in the country during his high school basketball career at St. Vincent St. Mary. Shooting Stars hits the big screen on Friday, June 2nd. And speaking of LeBron, the LeBron James Family Foundation is opening the doors to the brand new House 330. The foundation calls this an innovative, multi-use space for I Promise families, the city of Akron, and visitors to get together and learn important life skills. So some of those resources include family financial planning, health programming, job training, and gathering spaces for indoor and outdoor events. Coming up tonight, we'll take you inside House 330 for a look at the incredible opportunities it brings for citizens here in Northeast Ohio. Also tonight, the Rock Hall is welcoming a very special guest who is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the start of her musical career. Any guesses? It's Chaka Khan, and it turns out it's also her 70th birthday. There will be a special question and answer segment as well as a live performance, and that is during tonight's sold out event. Thanks for spending your birthday with us. Happy birthday, Chaka Khan. Okay, there is a restaurant in Massillon that's getting a lot of attention for its healthy and fresh food, but it is not just about the good food. Every menu item comes with the message of positivity and self-love. Our Lindsay Buckingham has this story.
When you step into Massillon's Greatness Cafe, great is everywhere. Words of affirmation, fresh fruit, and employees that want you to know you matter.
How often do you hear people even speak positive to themselves? I am great, I am smart.
The idea born from these two men, Bradley Grizzard and Cyrus Assar, friends in high school.
We were at the Boys and Girls Club, and we participated in a lot of sports.
With big ambitions, but their journeys much different.
My first transplant was in 2005.
Bradley diagnosed with severe kidney disease nearly 20 years ago. His life overtaken with dialysis and daily treatment. After his second transplant in 2008, it was time to make a change.
When I went to LA, we just started to have a bond. We started researching different kinds of foods, how to, alkaline foods, how to eat healthier.
Cyrus in LA too, on another kind of health journey.
Because I've been traveling helping people deal with depression and suicide for 20 years. Well, I started with the Boys and Girls Club, and that was just one-on-one sessions. So inadvertently, I became a big brother to our community, and I just never stopped.
Their separate goals, stronger together, merging physical and mental health. In 2021, they opened.
We wanted people to get that whole holistic experience where you come in, you're getting most of the menu is homemade, and what we can't is probably frozen fruit and our fresh orange juice.
Each menu item has a specific name designed to make you say something kind to yourself.
So it's just more of an introductory, taking the things that they're accustomed to eating and merging that with an introductory way of talking to yourself.
If you don't say it, you may not get your order.
He was about 65, 66 years old, refused to say the affirmation. And we had a standoff. I'm like, if you don't say the affirmation, you're not getting what's on the menu. So he said it very low, I am great.
The fresh food and drinks, a hit with the locals. But it's the messaging that makes the biggest difference.
You know, there was a few times where I've heard people say, I wish that we had healthy options here in Massillon, and they were the answer to that. They can come in here and leave feeling good, feeling healthy.
This is really good. And it usually
Bradley's health, still an ongoing battle. He's in need of another kidney. Being here keeps him going.
Can you really sit in bed all day? I mean, that's how I look at it. Sitting in bed and moping, it just doesn't help.
The hope is that their customers leave here feeling empowered, feeling inspired to live better lives.
What I hope people get out of it is grow into greatness. Try your best to be better than you were yesterday. We all got masks, we all have to do jobs, we all have to carry ourselves in a manner of which we got to take care of our family. But beyond that, those things you go to sleep with, that you fight, I want to help you win that battle.
Lindsay Buckingham, 3 News.
Lindsay is strong.
Now, since our interview with the people behind the Greatness Cafe, we've learned that Bradley spent some time in the hospital this week. So from all of us at 3 News, we want to wish him a healthy recovery. We have more about Bradley and the Greatness Cafe on WKYC.com. All right, now before we go, we want to let you know that Al Roker is making a stop at the University of Akron tonight. He's the featured speaker of the Delta Gamma Lectureship in Values and Ethics, and he'll speak on the importance of humor and the power of a positive attitude. And our own Betsy Kling will MC the event, which starts at 7:30. And tomorrow morning, you can catch Al Roker hosting Go at 6 a.m., so set your alarm clocks for that. Thanks for being with us for today's edition of 3 News Daily. Wherever you're watching or listening, we appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow with more of your top stories from around Northeast Ohio. Have a great day, everybody.